Hey everyone, welcome back to the Halo 2 Pistol Only Challenge, where we are trying to get through all of Halo 2 on heroic difficulty by only using the pistol. Now I'll go ahead and outline the rules again that I've just kind of laid out for myself, but basically I'm only allowed to use the pistol to shoot any of the enemies. Melees are included just because, technically speaking, I'd say I'm using my fist or my arm rather than something else to shoot the enemies here. No grenades. Vehicles are all right as long as I'm not the one shooting. So driving the Warthog or driving a Ghost and running over enemies, that's totally fine. But basically not allowed to shoot anything. And then I can't kill teammates for extra ammo. So our friendly Marines might be holding a pistol. Can't kill them just to get more pistol ammo here. So right off the bat, things have actually gone pretty well. I was able to just get into the first building right off the bat. Thought I was going to die there, but luckily the elite jumped down. Kind of let the rest of the Marines deal with that there. Found my pistol immediately, but I only had 10 shots, so figured I'd go for a lot of melees here right off the bat, just trying to get some enemies out of the way. And I'm recording things just a little bit different because I felt like in the first recording I didn't get really an opportunity to talk about why I wanted to do this challenge and why I love Halo 2 so much and why I wanted to start with that. So I figured this gave me a better opportunity to do that. So the biggest reason why I wanted to do this is because Halo was, a childhood game of mine growing up. I love the series. I'm not sure if it's, necessarily just the physics of the game or the enemies you face, the story, or what. But as young middle school kid that was just kind of introduced to Halo for the first time in probably about the early 2000s, I remember Halo 2 just playing a crap ton of that with my best buddies, and never had Xbox Live until kind of the Halo 3, Halo Reach days. But Halo 2 always held a special place in my heart just because it was one of the very first Halo games I played. My dad actually played a ton of Halo 1 and Halo 2, but Halo 2 was just the one I played first and most often. And I don't know why, but I just felt like Halo 2 got a lot of things right. If you've heard anything about the production of it, Halo 2 was extremely rushed. There was a lot of cut content, but I felt like compared to Halo 1, the whole engine, the physics behind it, everything was just so different. And I felt like things were a lot more lively. You had a lot more dialogue, I felt like. You were able to, just kind of pick up on a lot more of the characters and their development. Already had my first death there not too long ago. So there are going to be a handful of moments where I struggle a bit here. But rather than just trying to jump cut absolutely everything, you can kind of see how it all goes. And more or less, if you just want this on for background noise, fantastic. But no, I absolutely loved Halo 2, and I've played the Master Chief Collection now for years. It's, again, just one of my favorite series. And when it comes to just my experience with the various Halo games, I would say that I have, oh my goodness, I don't know how many thousands of hours I've probably spent playing Halo. But I wanted to give myself just a different challenge, just something kind of out of the box that I'm sure a ton of other people have done already. But I just wanted to do this more or less for myself here. This was one particular area with the pistol only, where I only have one one full magazine left, so I figured I'd keep trying my hand at just trying to get those melees. So it's going to be jump cutting quite a bit for me, trying different strategies here. Here in particular, I tried to get Sergeant Johnson down here to help me. It didn't go over so well. He was a bit timid, so I was back to square one, which is trying to basically melee the Jackals and the Elites by myself. The other Marines are up there too. They just decided not to pitch in. But I've really enjoyed the Halo games, and in particular when it comes to Halo 2, I really enjoyed that each playthrough was just a little bit different. And when I played Halo 1, quickly after being introduced to Halo 2, I felt like a lot of Halo 1 was pretty much exactly the same, whenever I played the campaign at least. Multiplayer was always a little different, but in the campaign it just felt like you got a lot of the same results, you had the same outcomes. Halo 2, it just felt a little bit faster, but also that there were a lot of randomized factors, especially playing on like heroic or legendary. And so when it came to playing heroic and legendary, obviously you have different enemy types. There are upgraded enemy types, and so each playthrough is just a little bit different. And that's what I really liked about this. So the pistol only challenge for me just kind of came in because I just wanted something a little bit different, a little more challenging. I didn't do legendary because I figured these videos would be much, much longer. Especially when you get moments like this where, again, I'm trying to basically beat Sergeant Johnston into helping me out a little bit. And luckily this time around, he was able to snipe a couple of them for me. And my Marine buddy here, I was trying to kind of just scooch out into the open, but to no avail. So he just kind of wanders back into his corner here in a bit. But Sergeant Johnson does a good job of cleaning him up, and then eventually everybody else comes out and blasts them out of the way. Again, just because I have one magazine here, there wasn't any extra ammo for me to pick up. I was just kind of stuck here watching them take care of these enemies, and then I was able to kind of jump down, do some more melees. But yeah, what I'm really not looking forward to are some of the levels where you play as the Arbiter. Nice Marine grenade throw there that just about took me out. But as the Arbiter, only using the plasma pistol, I think that's going to be a little bit tougher. But we'll make do with what we've got here. So as we continue on here, there were just a lot of clips of me trying to deal with these jackals that were coming out time and time again. And most of the time it was just me meleeing. But so far, I've really enjoyed this particular challenge, just because it is a lot of ducking and weaving. It's a lot of just kind of understanding too, like the moments that you have before one of the jackals, for example, strikes right there. So you can see he had his plasma pistol charged up, didn't fire it, was all good. So, but as we continue on here, I really like how heroic kind of balances everything. So didn't want to play on legendary right off the bat because I knew those jackal snipers and melees like that from an elite would just be the bane of my existence. So I figured I can at least take one jackal snipe while playing on this difficulty and not immediately die. So that's why I just wanted to kind of start with heroic. But if you guys like this series and you like having it on in the background, either while you're studying, or if you just kind of like watching the straightforward melees here and blood splattering everywhere, let me know. And I can definitely try it on legendary. Can't say that it's going to be extremely successful, but pistol only on legendary would be a bit of a challenge. So I'm up for it. But with the rest of the Halo 2 levels, I'm trying to think if there's any one in particular that I'm most concerned about. The thing that I'm going to try to do here is I don't want to do a whole lot of skips. Obviously, some people are probably wondering, I could just grenade jump onto the top of the buildings and use the outskirts of the map and the geometry just to run around and run outside of the zones with enemies. But I'm trying to do kind of a true run here where we get a lot of actual gameplay versus me just trying to skirt around the corners and the edges. I didn't get a chance to really mention that during the Cairo station level, which is my video before this. So if you haven't watched that, jump on back. That video was much quicker because Cairo station is really not all too difficult. The hardest part of that level was the jetpack elites, and those will continue to probably be a little bit difficult in levels like Gravemind and things like that. So we'll continue to see how it goes here. The hunters, I just basically skipped over here because I've got a pistol. That's it, and none of the Marines will man the machine gun turret up there. So I figured I'm just going to skirt around them, get through. But yeah, kind of back to my history with Halo. I've watched a ton of videos of modded Halo as well, so that might be another series that's coming up here. I have really enjoyed watching people play modded Halo. I'm not an absolute expert on how to get all of that set up. These are some of the first recordings I've done here. And I would say compared to some of my early childhood recordings, a little bit better, a little higher quality. Comments might disagree, but this is more or less just a project for me to kind of practice my editing skills a little bit. Not that there are many, but just for me to kind of gauge if I enjoy doing this outside of my everyday job here. But I do really enjoy playing these video games, especially the series of Halo. So I figured, if somebody else wants to kind of see some particular challenges, figured it'd be a lot more exciting than just me going through playing Halo like I normally do. And it gives me a chance to kind of better my knowledge of how the enemy types work here. So I'm loading all my Marines up with heavier weapons. You'll probably see that as a consistent theme here. I really enjoy that. Another aspect that I loved about Halo 2 versus the original Halo Combat Evolved, this just added a lot of really cool elements. So being able to load your team up with power weapons, being able to use the energy swords at times, stuff like that, that made Halo 2 a ton of fun as a kid and extremely memorable. So here, although I do lose a couple of Marines, I was absolutely shocked that I didn't just get sliced and diced, or that these Jackal snipers didn't just absolutely destroy me. And further on here, I just basically punch a couple of buggers, run through them. And this part was actually pretty easy going. I was able to make it through pretty smooth. Don't think there are a whole lot of other deaths in the next little bit here, but it was a lot of that. A second ago, there were some misfires or missed melees where it just doesn't quite get the hitbox for the elites and hits around their shoulder, misses them just by a hair. So we're continuing on here. Got some more ammo there, so that was pretty good. But like I said, one of the things that I am allowing, at least for this bit of the challenge, is driving. So once I hop in the Warthog, I am trying to load my fellow Marines up with some heavier weapons, allow them to weed through a lot of the enemies there. Phantom was shooting quite a bit, so I dropped down, and as I continue to just kind of pop them off here, I was trying to get a lot better at trying to shoot those grunts as they have the grenade in their hand. That can help out a ton, just clearing out the other enemies around, but I was always just a second too late. Plus, you don't get a whole lot of range with the pistol. But these were some of my other favorite parts of Halo 2, the Warthog runs. So basically, from the moment that I hopped in there to here, it was just a lot of me driving in circles, trying to get around ghosts. And at this point, this is like one of my absolute pet peeves with the game. So I knocked both of the guys out of the Warthog, got blown up, just kind of waited around to see, like, okay, do I have any buddies? And got absolutely demolished, got splattered. So I was just trying to load some of my fellow Marines up with some rocket launchers, but for some reason the game always likes to put me in the passenger seat rather than swapping weapons here. So once we get that rolling, this time around, my buddy in with the rocket launcher just decided to take off. I thought for sure in that pile up there he was dead, but miraculously there he is, out of the ashes, walks about another 20 feet, and meets his demise. So then I'm thinking, all right, I'll drive in some circles, kill a few more guys, hop out, I'll grab the rocket launcher, give it to another buddy. Nope, just explodes in my face again. So here I am, just trying to make the best out of a bad situation. I don't have any Marines left. I was double checking for that. So I'm just basically trying to sprint to the finish line into the tunnel there. I was able to avoid all of the elites, hop around. I did not know that the Phantom will rush up and just basically hover right there, continue to shoot at you. So I took care of the Jackal just so I didn't have anybody shoot me in the back here. And because I can't shoot, I just basically tried to hop in the Ghost, running. I almost said run and gun. Can't do that, but I ran into a lot of this crap where I'd fall off the ledge, I'd jump, I'd do a couple of rolls, splatter somebody, and it would just land perfectly upside down or catch the lip of the Ghost and explode on contact. So it was a lot of me running into those explosive barrels, people running into me like that. I think that one may have been my own fault. I think I possibly splattered myself by trying to flip the Ghost. So I know that a Warhog spawns here. Now I get the bright idea of maybe I shouldn't just try to run in the Ghost. I'll give this guy the heavy weapons like I tried to do a couple minutes ago. For some reason, as I try to nudge forward, he just flips out, tries to avoid it by running headlong into the car there, doing an absolute perfect pencil dive. This made it much easier, so now we were on the home stretch. I just sprinted through this section here and drove up to the... Oh, this is going to be real good, testing my Halo 2 knowledge here. Remind me down in the comments what these are called. I wanted to say bandits, but I don't feel like that's right. Shadows! There we go. We've got a couple of shadows here. Some of the Halo 2 mods that allow you to actually drive these things, I can't wait to try those. I'm going to do my absolute best to learn a little bit more about how to get those mods. I don't think it's difficult. It's just time-consuming and requires me to go find all that stuff. But I think it'd be absolute fun to jump into Halo 2 with some of those mods. And what I really want to try are a lot of the ones that have like the touch-ups or different weapons or weapon modifications, because I think on difficulty besides normal, which is a lot of what I see a lot of people just kind of showcasing them. I think it'd be a little bit more of a challenge if we could do it in heroic or legendary. Not sure how smooth the experience would be, but I think it would be a ton of fun here. So as I continue to race up here, go over all the jumps, give a little joyride to my Marines here, run into another shadow, eliminate that bad boy. And then this was just kind of the home stretch. We just kept driving forward, made it to the end, and I'll have my stats pop up here in a second. But I have really enjoyed these pistol challenges, again, just for really the added challenge to it. And so if all of you like this challenge or want to see more of this or see different challenges, leave a comment below. I'd love to see what else we could do with Halo 2. Thanks a bunch.